anyway. Now, it should be noted that thanks to Occupy Fights Foreclosures and largely to Carlos Marroquin, the Homeowners Bill of Rights in California is going to go in effect at the beginning of January of 2013. It outlaws dual tracking. And it's actually thanks to Carlos that a key vote was flipped on the Democratic side that allowed for that law to get out of the committee that it had been buried in for 3 years. And because it came up during an election season, the Democrats in the state House and Senate were basically forced to pretend to support the middle class because it was an election season and they couldn't be seen as siding with the banks. So that vote passed, and the Homeowners Bill of Rights was something that everybody thought was impossible, and that people were actually telling us we were stupid to be fighting for. And Carlos didn't give up, and he jammed Richard Calderon, and he flipped Calderon. It was a 3-3 tie in the Housing Committee for the State House, and he flipped that vote, and then it had to go to the floor, and the Democrats had to vote for it. The Republicans voted against it, of course. They don't even have to pretend to care about the middle class, but the Democrats do in an election season.
So Carlos was part of a committee in the city council, or?
No, we took an action up to Sacramento to take it to Jerry Brown to advocate for the Homeowners Bill of Rights. And he had a meeting with Richard Calderon and had a homeowner with him. And we basically threatened him that we basically informed him that if he didn't, acquiesce to the will of the people, that we were going to take up residence in front of his house and not leave until he did. It really worked.
Who was that?
Richard Calderon.
And who was he?
He's a member of the House of Representatives for the state of California.
Okay. And was it concerning this house, or?
No, this was concerning the Homeowners Bill of Rights at large, which affects literally millions of homeowners in the state of California, and it provides a legal precedent for other states to do a similar thing.
To hold an Occupy movement in the House, or?
No, the Homeowners Bill of Rights outlaws dual tracking.
Okay.
It forces the banks to appoint a single point of contact with the homeowner that makes them basically so that the homeowner has somebody to call, so that they can't pretend as easily to lose everything as they do right now. It also makes it so that if you apply for a loan modification at any point along 3 different stages of the foreclosure process, it would be the notice of default stage, the notice of trustee sale stage, or the actual auction where the house is sold, which is what the trustee sale notifies you about. After January 1st, if you submit a completed loan modification package at any stage before any one of those processes, the whole process has to stop until the loan modification is discussed and either accepted or rejected. It's an unprecedented protection that should have been in place since forever.
And how do you see that as affecting this case and future cases?
I don't want to be too optimistic about anything legislative, because I've learned that the banks, because they have power over the judiciary and because they've bought basically every house in Congress in just about every state with only individual exceptions, I don't actually believe that it can possibly be as good as it's supposed to be. If it's as good as it's supposed to be, in this state alone, I believe it'll cost the banks at least $800 billion with a B dollars. And that's why I don't think that'll let it happen.